Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here with a collectibles guide for SUPERHOT showing all 27 of the terminal locations. I decided to make this video since it's coming to Games with Gold, and a lot of people on Twitter seemed excited about the idea. What you'll want to do is go through the game, and then you'll be able to use level select and find all of these terminals via level select. At any point during the video, you can obviously look in the bottom left corner to see which collectible we are on and which level it can be found on. We're going to be starting with the first level in the game called Kick. Now, one thing that's very important while going for collectibles is that one enemy will be required to be alive, or else the level will finish. It's also usually recommended that you disarm that enemy so they're not shooting at you while you're trying to do something. For the first level, what you'll want to do is kind of make your way back to this back area and do this very tough jump actually up onto these ledges, and then you can make your way across the pipes and jump across down into this pit. Once you're in the pit, you should be able to locate the terminal quite easily, and all you'll have to do in order to have it track is interact with it. After that, you can back out of the screen, press start to go back to the main menu, and move on to the next level. For the second collectible, we are in Alley, and what we want to do is take care of the enemies pretty quickly here at the beginning, just so they don't get in our way too much. We took care of the first three enemies, and what we want to do is walk forward and to the left and jump up on these garbage cans and use them almost like stairs in order to make our way to the very top of this area. Now, one important thing during this game while going for collectibles is that you use the trigger to jump, and holding the trigger allows you to stay in slow motion while jumping, while letting go of the trigger while in a jump will speed the game up to normal speed. You'll have to do a lot of complex jumps and a lot of platforming in order to be able to grab all the terminals, so get a little bit of practice in with that left trigger. Next up, for the third collectible, we are on level 3, Corridor. This one can be a little bit tricky. You'll want to walk forward and kill one of the enemies and then disarm the other enemy, making sure to not leave him with any guns that can kill you. So that's what we're doing here. Once you reach the end of the hall, you'll notice that there's a window on your left-hand side, and we will be jumping through that window. You can shoot it out beforehand just to make your life a little bit easier, as I'm doing right now. But make sure that this enemy has no way of shooting you, so we're going to get rid of his guns and then jump through the window and through the wall. There are a lot of false walls in these terminals, so make sure you use them. Next up, once on this platform through the fake wall, you'll need to actually use these shoes to kind of figure out exactly where you can land. You can fall through this floor if you're not careful, so you're kind of trying to make sure you're stepping on the right areas by jumping along in a certain pattern, and you should be able to grab the secret at the end. Next up, we are on level 4, the drop, and what we want to do is just take care of the first enemy and then dodge the bullets and make our way behind the gate on the right hand side as we exit out of the truck. Then we can just kind of walk forward, and you'll have to dodge some bullets, but if you're lucky, you should be able to just make it quite easily. Jump across the gap using the cars, and then turn around, and you'll notice this plumbus type object just hanging upside down from the bottom of the level. And you will need to make this jump and land on this object. That jump is quite tough. Then what you'll need to do is jump into this phone booth, and once inside the phone booth, you should be able to interact with the computer or the terminal. If you do miss your jump, you might be able to interact with the terminal as you're falling, but you'll have to have some serious timing. You'll also have to make sure there's no glass in between you and the next one can be found in level 5, Subway. You want to disarm the first enemy, kill the second enemy, and then throw the gun away onto the train tracks. You want to turn around, go up the stairs, and then jump up onto the handrail, taking it all the way to the top, and then jumping onto the top of the level. Now, once up here, you can do a variety of things. There's actually some exploring you can do up here, but if you're looking to go straight for the collectible, you'll want to walk forward, get up on this ledge, and then look down, and you'll see a small kind of divider. You want to make sure you jump on the far side of the divider. You'll land near these seats, and there will be this kind of staircase of seats that go up the side of the wall. Continue to take those, and then you should be able to just turn to your right and look up on the ceiling and walk towards the terminal. Now, those first 5, in my opinion, were actually pretty difficult, but the game actually gets easier for a lot of these coming up. In jump, you want to jump over the car, take a right-hand turn, jump through the little hole in the wall, and then make your way around the corner, making sure you jump in order to land on these platforms, which you can take to the top of the level. Once at the top of the level, you should find a carousel, and at the top of that carousel, you should be able to locate your terminal quite easily. You can also interact with stuff on top of these levels in order to find new and cool things just kind of hidden. In level 7 shots, you want to pick up the shot glass directly in front of you and disarm the enemy directly in front of you. Then you want to jump through the window to your right and take a right-hand turn as you exit the window. You'll get a whole bunch of prompts on your screen. Just continue walking and take a left-hand turn when possible. You'll see these weird objects on the wall, and you'll actually need to drop down to one directly under the ledge that you're standing on. And then you'll need to kind of make your way across these weird ledges. And on the second one, you have to jump forward and take a right-hand turn, landing on the third one, right around the corner. And from this position, you should be able to jump straight to the terminal, and you will have to interact with it right as you're in the air. As soon as you touch the right trigger, though, it's going to go into full speed, so make sure you get it on your first click. Next, in level 9, Fight Room, or whatever this one, Fight Club, I guess, you'll have to disarm the first 3 enemies and just take them out. Let the enemies come out of the gate and kill all but one of the enemies, and make sure you disarm him as well. And then you'll need to run to the end of this kind of walkway. Once at the end of the walkway, jump on the chair, then jump on the light, and just walk to the back of the room. I'm going to do it a little fancy and use the ledge in order to get there, but if you just drop down on the other side of the wall, you'll be able to walk there. What you want to do in this level is take out the first enemy, then take out the second enemy, pick up a cue ball to take out the shotgun enemy temporarily to make sure he drops his weapon so he's not shooting at you too hard. You can hit him with a second cue ball if you like in order to disarm him even longer. Jump up on the stage, and then you'll want to get a running start and jump through the middle window. That jump is a little bit tough, but if you make it, take a right-hand turn, and it gets really, really bright here. But just keep hugging the wall clockwise around the corners, and you should eventually be able to find the terminal. In the level break, you'll be required to immediately try to jump and go to your right-hand side as you spawn in order for you not to actually fall into the level. Once up here, the rest of the steps are pretty easy though. Take a jump down one ledge, and then line yourself up perfectly straight with this line right here that I'm lining myself up with. Get a running start backwards and then run forwards, and you have to click this one in mid-air in order to grab it. This next one is one of the ones that are really long but not too tough. What you want to do is first obviously dodge the gigantic truck and disarm the immediate risk in front of you. Pick up his weapon and try to kill 2 of the 3 enemies running down this corridor. It's okay if you don't, but it will make your life a little bit easier if you do. Then you want to jump up on the dumpster, jump up on the wall next to the dumpster, make the jump across to the truck, and then from the truck, you want to make the jump onto the air vent. This is when a lot of the enemies will also be shooting at you, so if you only had 1 enemy left, it should be a lot easier for you. You can then jump across a gap, walk across some stairs, jump up onto the handrail, and then jump up onto a ledge. Once you're on that ledge, you can walk forward and jump onto the fire escape kind of stairs, and you'll have to climb those stairs all the way to the top. Now, once at the top of the stairs, this jump's a little bit tricky, but you'll have to jump up onto the handrail, and then you'll have to try to either jump up onto the higher point or jump around the high point in order to get onto the platform in order to find your terminal. Next up for the level numbered 14, this one's really easy. Walk forward and jump on the couches directly in front of you. Take a little bit of a right-hand turn and jump through the window, punching your way through the pane of glass, and then just drop down. From here, you should be able to just follow the pathway clockwise to find your terminal. We're just about at the halfway point now on the level hospital. You will start by kicking an enemy, stealing a shotgun, and then immediately you want to try to jump off where that enemy fell and land onto the scaffolding on the lowest possible floor. If you don't land on the lowest possible floor, you can easily just do another jump and try your best to land there. But once on the lowest floor, you can actually jump out and then back in to find a floor even lower with a terminal. Alright, for this level, you'll start in the back of a truck, kill the first enemy with the crowbar. You can try to kill the second enemy as well and disarm the third enemy. Try to probably throw his gun away just in case, or you can actually kill him since more enemies will spawn. Then you can jump up onto these crates, onto the dumpster, and onto the roof, then jumping across a gap onto another roof, and then climbing your way even further up. Once you reach the high point, you can drop straight down and then follow the path to the terminal. The game will now take us from level 16 to level 19. This level is called Old Boy. Take out the first enemies that are kind of in your way. Our goal is the statue on the left. And once we get there, we want to jump up onto the statue. And if we do a second jump towards the statue, we should kind of get stuck along its chest. Then you can do a third jump to get onto the ledge, and then you can just go right through the kind of giant open windows once you're up here. Take the ledge to the very end. You'll need to do a jump out and jump back in to land on the ledge below, and you'll easily find your terminal here. Now we're back to level 17, which is elevator. You'll want to disarm the right enemy first, then pan over to the left enemy, and then take out the middle enemy. You want to kill all the enemies in the elevator, and then kill one of the two enemies outside of the elevator, as you can see me doing here. You'll also need to dodge the shotgun bullets that come in. I would recommend taking out the right-hand side enemy outside of the elevator, since it's a lot easier to disarm and maneuver your way around the other enemy. Toss his shotgun to make sure it disintegrates. Walk all the way to the end and jump to the right. Get on the ledge and then jump around the giant pillar. That jump can be a little tough, but make sure you're holding left trigger the whole time so that time is slowed down and you should be able to find your terminal. Then next up on Ballroom, just throw your sword away, turn to your right, jump over the little ledge, and walk through the curved wall. Once through the curved wall, just continue forward and take a left-hand turn, then drop down and do a 180, and then just follow along the narrow pathway, hugging the right-hand side wall to your terminal. For our 18th collectible, our 18th terminal, you just want to throw your phone away to disarm the first enemy, and then you can pretty much ignore everything. Jump to the left of where you spawned, kind of through the plants, and then you'll jump off the ledge and work your way around to land on a platform below, and then you should be able to find your terminal pretty easily. This next level is pretty cool. It's called Fall. You'll start the level off by hot switching into the building. Then I would just recommend picking up the monitor and distracting this first enemy as he can get in the way. Now walk towards the pane of glass from kind of where you came from, punch through it, and then jump around the pillar to land on a new ledge, and then do that a second time, kind of working your way on the outside of the building by jumping around the pillars to find your terminal. Pretty easy. For our 20th collectible, I would recommend hot switching to the guy at the top of the stairs, disarming the second guy with the shotgun that will be running towards you, picking up his shotgun to kill him. Then you'll work your way down the ramps, and to your right hand side you'll have an enemy which I would recommend you kill. You might want to watch out for the guy behind you so you could disarm him if you have the time. Then go towards that guy we killed here, and you'll see a giant crane through the window. Jump through the window and in slow motion, make your way to the right-hand side where you'll see some scaffolding. You'll work your way up some ladders. Once at the very top, you'll want to turn towards where you came from to make this kind of tough jump towards the highest level of scaffolding. And you'll be able to continue up a ladder. You'll be able to jump to a giant spool of wiring, go across a bridge, and then at the other end, you'll be able to make a small jump. And you should be able to spot your terminal here. For the level office, there are a lot of different ways to tackle this. I would recommend trying to disarm the shotgun enemy in front of you and then hot switch into the pistol enemy on your left. But really, the order you do stuff in doesn't really matter all that much. You just want to make your way forward and to the left of where you started. And you should see this kind of ledge with a shotgun and a vase on it. And you want to jump up onto the highest point. From here, jump out the window, then go down to your left to land on a secret ledge. Once you're on this ledge, you should be able to just follow along. You'll notice this work desk. You'll need to jump up onto the ledge of the work desk, and from here, you'll have to jump onto the monitor floating in space. From the monitor, jump up onto the keyboard, and then look directly up. This next jump is a little tough, but if you do fail, you should land safely. Jump towards the monitor and interact with it as soon as you can in order to grab it. Next up, we're on the station level, last call. This one's pretty tough, honestly, and it takes a long time. You want to kill all 3 of the first enemies here. I have a pattern where I throw stuff and then disarm and hot switch at the same time, kind of. So we've taken out the first 3 enemies, and then 2 more enemies will spawn on our right-hand side. I'd recommend you take those guys out as fast as possible. Then, as soon as you take out these 5 guys, turn around and the train will be passing across. And there's 2 guys on the other side. Kill the first one that you see, as you see on screen here. And then the second guy you want to disarm as quickly as possible and run towards him and make sure you take away both of the guns on the other side of the tracks. Now, don't worry about the guy himself, since he won't attack you, since he is going to be permanently stuck on that side of the train tracks. We just wanted to make sure he was completely disarmed. And now we can return to the same place we were, jump up on some benches, jump up on a sign, and then jump up on the awning. From here, we can do a little bit of a tough jump where we run along the edge, jump forward, and kind of circle around in order to get up onto this highest point of the actual station. Then we can kind of run to the back. You'll see all these kind of floating platforms with a floating train in the distance. Use these platforms to get onto the train. Once on the train, find the terminal at the end. For the train level, you'll want to run forward, grab the shotgun, drop down, and try to kill all of the enemies right in front of you as you drop down. You will probably want to do a hot switch here in order to make this happen as easily as possible. Now, once these enemies are killed, the door in front of you, or kind of behind you before you hot switched, will open up, and you'll want to kill both of those enemies as quickly as possible. Now, once you kill them, another enemy will spawn behind you, but we're going to ignore them, walk forward, and in between train cars, we'll want to hop on the ledge on the left. Once we're here, we want to ride the ledge and keep walking along the ledge until we find a little secret room. And at the end of the secret room, we can find our terminal. Next up is the level gate, and we'll want to jump down to the right-hand side, melee the first enemy, hot switch to the second enemy, jump up onto this kind of RV loading van, and then from here we want to jump up onto the ledge. This jump can be a little bit tough. As you see, it takes me 2 or 3 tries here. You kind of have to line it up and make sure you time it perfectly. But once you're on the ledge, it's actually pretty easy. Just run along the ledge, continuing in the direction we were going. Go around the outer edge. You'll have to dodge a couple bullets maybe as well. And then you'll be able to kind of continue along the outside, find this pathway. You'll see some floating chairs. Make sure you use the highest floating chair to get to the next area where you'll find your terminal. Now this one is very hectic. There are a lot of things going on. Kill the enemy on your left, kill the enemy directly in front of you, and then try to hot switch to the enemy on your right. If you do that quickly, you should be able to get into this area with a small couch and jump through the fake wall directly in front of you. Now you can use these monitors or these garbage cans to work your way up to the highest point. Once at the highest point, you'll want to work your way through here. You might have to dodge a few bullets at this point as well. Then you can drop down. And you should be able to find the terminal hidden here on this small little ledge. Now, the second last collectible is in the level Long Way, and it's actually the easiest collectible in the game. Just walk forward and look at the lights on the roof, and one of the lights will be a little bit curved or like sideways. Just hug the left-hand side wall, and eventually you'll kind of just fall through the wall. One of the walls is a fake wall. You'll find this coffin, and you'll have to do a jump out and then back in that direction to land on the ledge below, where you'll find your terminal. Last but not least, we are on the level Core. We'll see the giant pyramid in front of us, and enemies kind of just continuously spawn, so we're going to ignore them by jumping on the computers and then jumping on the server directly in front of us. Jumping to the right of the giant pyramid in the middle, jumping away from the pyramid onto the light fixtures, onto the servers, onto the next light fixture, and then onto this ledge. This ledge jump can be a little bit tricky, but once we get it, we should be able to then jump kind of outside of the map for the first time. Once we're outside of the map, it gets pretty easy. All you want to do is jump down, take a left-hand turn, and follow the pathway to your final terminal. Now, you're probably wondering, when does my achievement or trophy unlock? And this is the part where I was actually getting a little bit nervous. But you want to follow the on-screen cues, and if you've gotten all of the terminals, you should get a special message on screen as you see right now. It'll say, transmission incoming. You have cracked all of the secrets. We will now teach you how we recruit people, or something along those lines. And you'll see all of these special characters and all this special stuff happening on screen. Now, you still don't get your achievement or trophy. For me, I had to press start, back out to the main menu, and then wait about 15 to 20 seconds before it unlocked. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you want me to continue covering Games with Gold games. Let me know if this video was helpful. Share it with a friend. Drop a like. Special thanks to the amazing people on Patreon for supporting the show. Check out Doc Cupcake on Mixer, and I'll see you next time. Peace.